So Verisk streamlines end-to-end claims management, improves claims outcomes, and fights fraud with tools, analytics, and proprietary databases. Their technology, software, and professional alliances create valuable products and services for insurers, brokers, agents, service providers, educators, and more. I think Brandon's going to tell us what the and more includes. His fun fact is that he lived in an ancestral Korean village for 6 weeks. Great job. I'm sure that was an amazing experience. For now, let's talk about Verisk, Brandon.
Yeah, so I'm going to be presenting about how Xactimate integrates with Matterport. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Xactimate, this is the Xactimate Control Center. From here, typically users will receive what we call an assignment. So the projects are generated somewhere else and it's assigned to a user. And then these will come in pre-filled with certain information, including usernames, the property owner names, the addresses, other information like a claim number. Once these are received by the user, we can request data from our partner with Matterport simply by clicking on this request data button. We choose property data, we hit next. All of the information that was included in the assignment is actually preloaded in here. We can make changes to this as necessary. And include notes if that's necessary. Once we hit OK, that will actually generate a request. You'll receive a message that says that the request succeeded. Once that's done, it goes through the magic of the internet, the cloud, and eventually will arrive in Matterport. The project is fulfilled and the data is resent. I don't have a example of this right now, but we would receive in Xactimate notifications. There will actually be 2 notifications that you receive. The first is that there's third-party data available, and the second is that the third-party data has been added to the estimate. Once you receive that second message, you can open up the estimate. You'll see our standard sketch in Xactimate window, and we will have this icon in the top left corner of the sketch workspace. If we click on that, it will open up an import dialog. Now, normally this is probably only going to have one option for import, but we do allow for updates or changes or additional information to come into Xactimate. And in that case, there may be more than one. You would select the one that you would like to import, and you simply tap import, and it will import that data into Sketch. And from here, we can use our standard Xactimate processes to actually create an estimate on the live data that was captured in Matterport. So for example, if I had a little bit of flooding in this living room, I could replace the carpet using our standard Xactimate price lists. So carpet. I could replace the drywall in the room, as well as add some paint. And this is just a quick example of something that you could do. Obviously, there could also be more damage throughout the property that you could also estimate. Our price lists are generated monthly. We do basically make price list adjustments as we go, and we have live updates to those price lists every month, so that we can get the most accurate pricing data that we possibly can for the region where the property exists. And once we're done, we can complete the assignment and generate reports and continue with the repairs. Write a checkout for our customers. The really powerful thing where Matterport comes in is that instead of having to send someone out to the property to create this floor plan, having to take the time to actually manually sketch something as complicated as this property. We use that Matterport scan, and we can import it in however long it takes to actually create the scan itself. So it really speeds up the process of getting a check written out for our customers. And that's really all I have.
That's great, Brandon. You finished early, so kudos to you for that. We have a couple of questions coming in. First from David is, what is the turnaround for Matterport to create a sketch and have available for import to Xactimate?
That's a great question. A lot of that is on the Matterport side. So, basically once the data is that data request is sent out, it's a matter of minutes before it's available in the Matterport systems. And then once that data is captured by Matterport and is available to send back, again, it's just a matter of minutes. It's just however long it takes for that data to be uploaded to the cloud and then downloaded back to the local Xactimate instance.
I will say that the turnaround time for Matterport for Exact, our SLA is 48 hours as a max. We tend to get a turnaround faster than that. But just as a point of reference, it's not to exceed 48 unless we're in a serious CAT situation. Then we could have some exceptions to that rule.
Awesome. Thanks, Kimberly.
No problem.
Gregory, I see that you have a question about Xactimate and showing level differences. I'm not sure that I understand the question. So if you want to clarify it and drop it back into the Q&A window, then we can get it addressed. No problem.
It's okay. I got this one.
Perfect. I'll let you take it.
Brandon, since you're on the screen anyways, so just so you know, if you have a multi-level building that comes in the screen that Brandon's on next to main level at the bottom left-hand corner, there's a plus sign for every level that you do at with a true plan sketch. You're able to add a secondary level just like Brandon just showed, and then you would do the same thing. You'd click on the import button and your sketch will show level 2. In this particular example, it doesn't have, it is a single floor example, but the process would be exactly the same way. You would just have the name of the title of your capture, and then it would say level 2, level 3, level 4, etc.
Awesome, thanks. All right, are all of the, is all of Matterport sketching done via AI, or is there a human element? Question from David.
Yep, I'll go ahead and take this one too. It's definitely a mix between the two of them. We definitely automate, but because, we've got complicated properties and complicated add-ons, there's definitely a human element that comes behind it as well.
Great. And final question before we move into your presentation, Kimberly. What about, this is a very specific use case coming from Gregory, but what about where you might have a garage be a 1 foot below the main house, but technically on the main level?
A lot of that would depend or be dependent on how it is that you're capturing. So if you mark the garage as floor 1, and then you enter in 1 foot above to a floor 2, and that's how you capture it, then it would literally show floor 1 as this level, floor 2 as the next layer of it. But for a 1 foot variance, typically you would just end up doing it all as the same floor, and the technology would recognize the fact that there's a 1 foot variance that comes behind it.
And once that data is imported in Sketch, it can represent those floor height differences within a single level. So that's all available and existing in Sketch already.